If you guys are at home training, a lot of the times you're probably going to be using lighter weights or even using just body weight to be able to do your training. So when you're doing training with weights, first of all I want you to realize the reason why you're doing it. So if you're trying to lose weight, the reason why you train with weights is to maintain the muscle mass that you have, because no one wants to really just lose weight from their muscles or anything else. They want to lose it specifically from fat. So if you can make sure that you train the muscles, then you're going to be able to lose body fat while maintaining the muscle. So there's no confusion there. What the issue is that when you train with weights, if you don't have a lot of heavy weights, if you've got really limited equipment that you can use, it's a lot harder to be able to gauge whether you're having a successful workout or not. And that's because a lot of the time you want to be training somewhere between that 10 to 15 rep range when you're training with weights, because it's a lot easier to gauge where your failure point will be, because you're not going to have that fatigue of the aerobic system, the breathing or anything else getting in the way. However, you can go all the way up to somewhere like 30 to 40 reps if you like to have that little bit of burn. But you need to be able to distinguish whether it's your cardio system that's failing or whether it's your muscular system that's failing. Alright, for starters, let's say that you maybe only have your access to body weight training to do when you're at home. Now that's awesome, that's fine, but what you might need to think about is how many repetitions, for example with squats, how many repetitions of squats are you able to do before you hit failure? Is it 50? Is it 100? Is it 70? Is it, some massive number? Now that number could be really skewed, because again, if you're going to be breathing super hard towards the end of it, you may give up just because of that. So what you want to think about is your proximity to failure is going to be how well you actually train the muscles, maintain that muscle mass, and even put on a little bit more lean muscle so that you get that toned look.
So option 1 for bodyweight training would be just to play around with the tempo. So if you watch these squats that I'm doing here, I'm going for about 4 or 5 seconds downwards and then coming up at my usual pace. So that will increase the amount of time that your muscles are under tension. So same kind of thing, increasing the amount of time under tension. What you can do is also add a pause. That means that it's harder for you to push yourself out of the bottom of the squat. And thirdly, what you can do is you can just add a little bit of a quarter rep. So not a pulse. Notice how I'm going up nice and controlled, and I'm not moving fast until I go all the way back up to the top. So this is a really nice way to get some more tension on those quads. Alright, so if squats are a little bit too easy even with all of those options, you can always do single-legged variations like this lunge here. So another thing you can do, just like the squats, you can slow down the tempo. So go slow down to the bottom and then come back up. Also, add a pause if you need to. And then what you can do is you can add all of them together. So you can do a slow downward phase, a pause, a quarter rep, and then come back up. So then that way you get a whole lot of tension, a whole lot of time where that muscle's working, and it's only one side, so then after that you've got to go back to the other side. I hope you enjoyed these tips.
So if you really want to spice up your training when you're home, especially if you don't have any weights, you really want to maybe consider one of these options that I've used to explain leg training for all of your other things. So remember, you can do slower on the downward phase, you can do a pause, you can add a little bit of a half rep or a quarter rep, or hey, you can put all of them together. Go slow down, pause, do a little quarter rep, and then feel your muscles really starting to burn. So if you found any of these tips helpful, please comment below. I want to hear what you think. Is there anything else that you think that I should have said today?